I'm Ginger Nelson and welcome to Tea Time. Today I have a very special guest with me and it's Dr. Robert Bowman. He is with Quick Care. How long have y'all been open?
Oh, I guess 7 years now.
7 years,
yeah.
Wow, it's gone by fast, hasn't it?
Time's flown by.
So you decided to open up Quick Care 7 years ago. What gave you the decision to open that up?
Well, I was kind of burned out from working in emergency rooms for 20 plus years, and I had thought about it for a while, and at the time there wasn't anywhere like that in Tifton.
Right.
And so I said, well, and a friend of mine was putting in the shopping center, and I said, well, maybe I'll just put in a little walk-in clinic that people don't have to have an appointment. They can just zip in and zip out, and they're working, and they do some extended hours, and it's worked out real well so far.
Yeah, I know. I've visited several times, and like you wake up with a little girl that's sick, and you can't get into the doctor. You just take her right on to Quick Care.
Well, that's the thing.
And you actually see a doctor.
Yeah, I mean, all the doctors in town are busy. So we just kind of fill in that little niche in between, and hopefully get you in and out, because most of the people we see, they have, they work and they're juggling 4 or 5 things as it is, so it's hard to take 2 or 3 hours and try to deal with something. It makes it easier for them to just walk in and get it taken care of. So we've been very happy and very pleased and very blessed.
Well, I know that you've got some new things that going on at Quick Care. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yes, we started doing some laser procedures last year. We do 2 of them. We do laser tattoo removal, and we do laser nail fungus removal. And they're not what I would call the top of the aesthetic pyramid, but as far as hair removal and face generation and all that, but they are 2 areas that are in need of, and we want to do something a little bit different. They're a little cutting edge, so we just said, well, we'll do it, and it's worked out well. We have lasers that are specially made for tattoos, to remove tattoos, and that's something a lot of people don't understand, is that there are a lot of different lasers and you do a lot of different things with them, but lasers don't do everything well.
Yeah.
Like we have one laser for tattoo removal that's specially designed for that. It's top of the line. You can't come in and get your hair taken off with it. But it does that better than any other laser. And the same way we have one laser that we use to kill nail fungus, toenail fungus and fingernail fungus. And that's really, except for a couple other minor things, it is specifically designed energy and time-wise to do that, and both of them are. And when you have ones that are specially designed for that, then the treatments are more effective, they're faster, and they end up costing you less money too.
Yeah, now you went and you were actually trained to work these lasers, right?
Yes, I went out and trained in Houston. We did training for both of them in Houston, and actually, it's like I was telling you before, is I went out to train to do the tattoo removal, and I was so impressed with the laser nail fungus removal and the treatment with it that I decided to go ahead and stay and train on that and do that too. It doesn't sound very glamorous, but both of them are there's a large percent of the population that you can serve with both of them, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, let's talk about the laser tattoo removal first. There are a lot of people now, this day and age, young people who are getting tattoos.
Well, there are, and it's well over 30% of the population now has some form of tattoo. And it grows every year, as you know. If you look around and see the kids now, it seems like well over half the kids have tattoos. And, you see a lot of people come back from the beach with tattoos and things like that.
One of those spring break moments.
But the problem with tattoos is, and these are the major people that we try to help, are One, people decide they want to go into the military. You can't have a tattoo showing go into the military, so that has to be removed. The other one is...
And I bet a lot of the younger kids don't realize that because they think military, they think tattoos, because a lot of military men and women have tattoos.
Well, that's exactly true. And, the picture of the old Navy guy was the guy
right.
with a tattoo, but kind of find out that tattoo was, you could cover it. And now if they're exposed and you can't cover them, they can't go in. And the military has become, I guess with the economy especially, the military has become a lot more option to other people, because you get help with school and all that, so it makes a big difference. And then aside, similar to that is you get a lot of people that have tattoos that are exposed that are now in the workforce, and all of a sudden they're available to become an assistant manager or a manager.
Climb up that chain.
Yeah, climb up the food chain, and they all of a sudden, nobody wants a Darth Vader on their hand, so they have to get those taken off to progress economically and professionally. And then there's always the big group who thinks they're going to be in love forever and put somebody's name on them, and all of a sudden it doesn't work out.
That's usually one of them drunken nights, I think.
and then they want that name off.
Of course.
And then there are some other smaller ones we do that's like people have tattoos and they actually like the tattoos, but they don't like some part of it. So we take that part out, and then the tattoo people come back in and their artist comes back in and redoes what they want. So it's a large group. And, when you start talking about a third of the people in the country now have tattoos, and you're talking about a large group of people that may want some adjustment over time. And it's
well, one thing you said, I know before we even started the cameras, you said that there are a lot of mothers who are now coming in wanting their tattoos removed because their kids are seeing their tattoos and they think, oh, I want to be like my mama. And Mama doesn't want the little girl.
No, Mama doesn't want to explain the tattoo.
That's right.
And Mama doesn't want the little girls to see it, so they tend to want to get them off. And it's like I was telling you before, the most common person to have, statistically, want a tattoo removed is a 29-year-old white female.
Yeah.
And that when I found that out, that kind of blew my mind. But that is, in fact, that's how common they've become in society.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the nail fungus laser removal. We'll be right back.
Meet Paul Arvizu, a 2012 graduate of Moultrie Technical College and a certified surgical technologist at Tift Regional Medical Center. He works in a field considered non-traditional for men. But Paul already knew firsthand what it's like to be considered different and to be transplanted by the winds of change. He immigrated to America from Mexico with his family as a 5-year-old, and while at Moultrie Tech, he gained full United States citizenship, was a Student of the Year finalist, and graduated with honors. No matter where life takes him now, Paul says nothing is out of reach. Thanks to faculty members, classmates, and a diploma from Moultrie Tech, he's empowered to help change lives as a valuable member of a surgical team.
This changes everything.
We're everywhere you turn. Moultrie Technical College.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
He we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna
You
be
ready?
good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
Hey, she took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Oh, listen now. Can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now. Can you feel the sun? Whoa. 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 Can you feel the sun?
Welcome back to Tea Time. We are talking to Dr. Bowman, and he has been telling us a little bit about the laser tattoo removal that you offer. And
Yes.
We were talking about, you said that the average age is white female, 29 years old.
Correct.
Almost 30 years old, wanting these tattoos removed. Now, I have heard people say that they read about this tattoo removal, and some of them promise that one treatment and it's gone. Is that true?
Well, no, and that's the most difficult thing to explain to people, and that's why we have, if somebody calls and wants to talk about getting a tattoo removed, we bring them in, give them a free consultation, and explain all that to them, because what they have to remember is a tattoo was put on as a permanent thing. Somebody's taking ink and putting it down in a deep layer of your skin that never comes off, and it's made to be permanent, and they are. And because of that, they're hard to get off. You can't wash them off, you can't wipe them off with creams, you can't buy cream on the internet.
Can't bleach them off.
No, you can't do any of that. You can't scrape. Guys will get there and try to scrape
Are you
them off.
serious?
Yeah. You can't do all that. I mean, they're down in the lower layer of the skin. And it's a process. And the way the process works is the laser heats the particles of the ink and explodes them. And then your body is able to, the cells in your body are able to reabsorb the smaller particles. When they're big, your cells are not big enough to reabsorb them. When they get exploded, then they can absorb the pieces and get rid of them. And so you explode by layers and clean them out going up. So it is a process, and that's the hardest thing for people to understand. Excuse me. There's a scale that guy out in California and Massachusetts together came up with that helps you estimate how many treatments you'll need. And it's fairly accurate, and if you think about it when we explain it to people, it makes sense. You calculate how much ink you have, how many layers you have, how old it is, how far it is away from your heart, different things like that, and it's a pretty reliable estimate. But most tattoos.
So what would it, why would it matter how far away from your heart it is?
The amount of blood flow that it gets to it.
Gotcha.
If you have a place down on your foot, it does not get the blood supply and blood flow that a place up here will. And
So would it be easier to remove the farther away?
No, it's easier to remove up here.
Okay, so it's the closer it is, the easier it is to remove.
Closer it is, the more blood flow there is, the easier it is to remove. Give you an example, and this is just a rough case, but say you had one up here on your chest that took 4 or 5 treatments, it might take 7 or 8 down on your foot. The exact same thing.
Okay.
But we calculate all that out for everybody and let them know. We let them know what the price is, what the treatment will run, and it's the other thing that I didn't mention to you before, but it's a process, and you have to approach it as a process. And you get a treatment, and then you don't then it takes at least 6 weeks to reabsorb. And you just can't, you see people advertise where they do it one day and then come back another day, but your body has to reabsorb that, and you just can't, you can't speed that up.
It's not a rush process.
No, and we tell people that, you know, we'd like to do your tattoo for you, but if we don't and somebody else does, if they don't follow if they don't tell you this, then don't do it there. You know, go somewhere else where they will explain to you what's going on and how long it's going to take, and the honest process, because otherwise you're going to be really disappointed. And I gave you the example of, there were 2 people that wanted to go into the service and they had exposed tattoos, and one of them came, they were both from another town up close to Macon, but one of them came in and it took 4 or 5 things, but we finally got theirs down. The other one went somewhere else and they told him, oh yeah, we can take it off in 1 day. And they did, but now they had this huge burn scar the whole size of the tattoo, because I mean, it's physics and science, and you just can't beat it otherwise. And you know, it's sad if somebody else tells you differently.
Well, you definitely want somebody who is certified in using these machines and this laser machine, because laser can be dangerous.
Well, it can be. They can be very dangerous, and you have to be very careful with them. And like I said, lasers are specific. To give a quick example, the laser that does the tattoo removal generates a lot more energy in a shorter period of time than our laser that we use for the nail fungus. But even with that, it will not kill the nail fungus because of the difference in the timing and the physics involved in it. So, you know, I saw one place that had, I think it was out in Houston, that had 12 or 14 lasers that did a whole variety of you know, aesthetic procedures. And to do everything that people get done these days, that's probably not unrealistic, to have the right laser for the right job.
Well, now, what can someone expect if they were to come in and decide to get the laser tattoo removal? What can they expect? Is it painful? How long is recovery time?
No, it's really not painful. Most people classify it as it hurts less than when I got it put on. And
really? Because see, I mean, I don't have a tattoo, but I've heard that, you know, it's pretty painful getting it put on. And
well, they say the actual process is less painful than getting it put on, but in addition to that, we have a special skin cooling unit that cools the skin down to about between 0 and how much, between 0 and minus 30 degrees, and that numbs the skin up. So that takes a lot of the discomfort out of it. And then after that, we keep it covered for a couple of days. But
does it blister up, or?
It does along the places where the ink is, and then, but that only lasts for a few hours, and then it goes back down. In general. Most people, we advise them to keep it covered for 4 or 5 days, but most people the next day don't cover it. They just go on about their business.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the laser fungus removal, the nail fungus.
Okay, the less glamorous of the two.
The less glamorous of the two. But you know, I mean, a lot of people have nail fungus.
Well, and you know, we were talking about it before the show. 10% of the people in the country have nail fungus. And that's, again, a large population. And the reason that I thought about it and decided to do it when I was out there and added on was that as a medical doctor, we treat nail fungus in the clinic. And that's always been, you have to take pills, toenails, you have to take medicine 6 to 12 months. The medicine can mess up your liver, so you have to get your liver test. You have to come back periodically to get that checked. And then it only works in probably half or less of the people. And you know, all the creams and paste and paints and everything you see over the internet, none of those are effective against nails.
Yeah.
Even the stuff you get at the drugstore that can work on your skin is not really effective on your nails. You just have to attack it from the inside. So with the laser, it's usually one treatment. We usually treat all the nails just because they're could be a little bit that's just not showing. And one treatment, and then you maintain it to try to keep it from coming back, and that's it. It's more cost effective than medical treatment, and it's up around 90%. Probably 10 to 15% of the people have to come back and get a second treatment. We bring them back in 4 months, and you can see the nail growing out and check it and see if they need another treatment. That's the only drawback with treating nails, but it's whether you use medicine or not, is that it takes up to a year for the nail to grow out. So you can't look at it, you can't get the treatment today and look at it tomorrow and say, oh, it's all well, because the disease part has to grow out and be replaced by the healthy nail. So that's what you'll do. You'll see at the fingernail, the edge of the fingernail, it'll be clear down here. You know, you were talking about, well, how do people know they got nail fungus? Well, most people know because they got thick, hard, yellow, crumbly type nails, and then it starts growing out here and it's looking all pink and normal again. And then they go, wow, okay, that's why we don't bring them back before 4 months, because nails grow so slow that you can't necessarily tell before.
So if it were to grow out and it weren't the nice pink color and it still looked fungus, you would do another treatment?
Then we would do another treatment.
But most likely...
Most people do not.
Okay.
The problem that most people encounter with nail fungus is after they get them, they tend to get reinfected at some point. So you have to, we give you a list on what to do, but you have to keep your shoes sprayed, and, no more.
So how do you get nail fungus?
You get it from contact, showers, and outside, and ground, and grass, and shoes, and it's a contact. It's spread by contact.
So, and a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people have it.
Yeah.
Mostly in their feet.
Yes.
Do you see it?
Well, you see it, but very rarely on fingernails, probably less than 5% on fingernails. Most of it's on your feet. And, you get it from, when you're walking that path or walking from the hotel to the beach.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, I'm going to tell my secrets. I don't go and get pedicures. I do my own feet. And the reason being is because I've just got this feeling about sticking my feet down in something that everybody else has stuck their feet down in, and they use the same stuff. Now, do you see a lot of cases coming in that maybe have gotten, pedicures that...
Well, you see cases from that, but as you know, women who get pedicures, seems like they get them all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So it kind of be... it kind of be unfair to say they went and got a pedicure and then got it, because they may have had it for a long time and they still get pedicures.
True.
I mean, women and their pedicures is beyond the scope of my understanding. They come in with no toenail and their toe painted to look like a toenail. So I
run with some girls who lose their toenails because of running, and they just paint the skin.
It's beyond my understanding. I'm not smart enough to understand all that.
So you also went through training for the laser
specifically for both
nail fungus.
Yes, we did.
And now give me an idea of what the cost for the nail fungus.
Nail fungus, if you have one nail that you want treated, it's $150.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
If you want all 10 of them treated, which we usually recommend, it's $195. If we have to retreat you in 4 months, then it's half that.
Now, let me ask you this. Is it painful?
No, generally people don't. They complain of it saying it's a little warm.
Okay.
If they complain at all, they'll say it's a little warm. Most people, it doesn't bother at all. I was telling you before the break, I've only had 2 people that complained that it hurt, and they were guys.
Yeah, well.
But
some of us women have a little bit higher pain tolerance, huh?
But we have not had, and I'm glad you mentioned that, we have not had anybody that had the toenail treatment or anybody that's had a tattoo removed that had to stop it because it hurt.
Okay.
It's generally not that uncomfortable.
Well, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to tell you how you can do research on this and how you can get in contact with Dr. Bowman. We'll be right back.
Jangan takut.
This song was created with heartbeats of children in need. Find out how it can help frontline health workers bring hope to millions of children at everybeatmatters.org.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Can you say with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite.
Unearth hidden passion.
Come on, have a good time.
Plant seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life.
People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
We're back and talking to Dr. Bowman, and we've been talking about laser tattoo removal and laser fungus removal, nail fungus removal. And I told you that, or I told you before we went to break, that there are some websites that you have that you can, people can look at and learn more about the information. For the laser tattoo removal, what's the wesite?
The website is changeslasertattoo.com, and for the nail fungus is changeslasernnail.com. And they both have nice websites. They explain everything, answer a lot of your questions, give you pictures, just a wealth of information on it. References to different articles and things like that.
But you also have these brochures that you have up in your office that if anybody wants to come by and get one, they can do that.
Yes, we do. They're available. We have a separate phone number for the laser, or you can call the Quick Care Clinic and they can get you set up. What we do is, because it is so much information, it's so new, we offer free consultations. We'll schedule your appointment to come in and talk to one of us that does it. And I have several other people that are certified to do it also. And we'll schedule an appointment, no charge, go over everything, explain everything. We like for people to look at the websites before they come in if they can, because that way there's some things that people don't even know to ask until they look. And then
they'll get an idea of what they're coming in to ask.
Show them what's going on, and then we can do it right then. We can start then, or we can schedule appointments and go from there, or answer any questions that they have, any concerns they have about the whole process. And we'll even schedule you one on Saturday if that's more convenient for you, if we know and can plan a little bit in advance.
That is great. Now, so if someone is interested, they do need to call to make an appointment for that initial consultation, right?
It's better. That way we can make sure we have somebody there that's set that time frame aside to.
And that consultation is free.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That way they can ask all the questions and get a little bit of the nervous jitters out of the way.
And there's no pressure. They come in. We have a lot of people that come in and go over everything. They say, well, I'll think about it. Then they call us back in a few days and book a time that they want to come in and get it done. But I mean, it's just something you need to think about, but you got to have all the information to be able to do it. And it's, like I said, it's a new process, so we like to educate people and let them know. We hope that we're able to do it for them, but like we were talking about before, even if we're not able to do it for them, there are certain things that they should recognize as being important in getting it done.
That's right.
And we'd like for them to know that, because we don't like to have people have bad outcomes from it.
That's right. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show and talking to us today. Now give us your phone number.
The one for the laser, for Changes Laser, is, I have to pick it up and read it because I can't remember, it's 339-3868. And Quick Care is 388-0266.
And your hours of operation at Quick Care is?
They're 8 to 7 Monday through Friday and 8 to 5 on Saturday.
Can't beat it.
Glad to help.
Well, we appreciate you coming and letting us know a little bit more about the laser tattoo removal and the laser nail fungus removal. And if you have any questions, you need to get in contact with Dr. Bowman at Quick Care. We appreciate you being with us today, and we hope to see you next time. We'll see you next time right here on Plant TIFNet's Wiregrass Channel 3.